back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler here with Johnny. Johnny, what's going on?
We're just in it. Tyler, I did the thing. It's 2026. What do you want? I finally went back to work after like being off for 4 weeks. My brain is all mushy. I had to remember how to do my job.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of everyone. I do tech support and I'm on calls with people. Probably not anymore. I think everyone's back into it. But the first couple weeks of January, everyone's just like, I don't even remember what this is, man. That's why I called you. And I'm looking at them. I'm like, I don't remember what this is, man.
You're like, hold on. I got to check notes. Yeah, I didn't share this with you, did I? This stupid post I found about some girl who documents all the oranges she eats.
All right. You see, our people come in many forms, Johnny. Some people collect video games. Some people go and look for different kinds of trains. And some people document all the kinds of oranges they eat.
Well, this was the best. So it was just like, I don't know if this is like, if this girl is being a joke or what. I don't know if this is a joke account. It didn't feel like it. It felt like genuine autism. But I sent it to a friend. I'm like, this is a flavor of autism I have yet to see. But what it struck me was she's like, okay, I eat like 3 oranges every day. I document them. I put them in my spreadsheet. Here's like the best kind of orange. I only like this. She gave like the produce code for it. She's like, this is like a large navel orange. This other code is like the medium sized one. I don't like those as much. I only want the big navel oranges and I eat like 3. Here's how much money I spent on oranges. Here's how many oranges I bought a week. Here's how many miles I traveled over the course of the year to buy my oranges. I was just like,
this is great.
Like, ha ha. I'm like, this is ridiculous, except we do the exact same fucking thing. And I was just like, it's just a different fruit and ours is video games. And I was like, I love this girl. Thank you for being the orange girl. I'm interested in your content.
Absolutely. That is a very on-topic person for the Collector's Quest podcast, because whenever you see something dumb, you're like, oh, why would you spend $200,000 for a Pokemon card from 2016? Or, why would you collect some other dumb thing, plastic army men? People are all in my case because in the last episode I talked about collecting plastic army men. People are like, oh, it's dead. Like, we're the same thing. We're collecting something that will be outdated very soon.
Yeah.
We are doing the same thing as everything you think is crazy and anyone collecting.
This has been a conceit of the show since the very beginning. Collectors are all the same. It's the same brain. We call it collector brain for a reason. You are the same as them. You just got a different flavor. That's all it is. It's all ice cream, okay? It doesn't matter if you like mint and chip or chocolate or peanut butter ribbon. It's all the same thing, man. It's all the same thing.
You're
It's
looking
all
at
ice cream.
this girl and you're like, she only likes the large navel oranges, not the medium ones. But meanwhile, you're like, oh, the NES games, I only like when they have the hang tab punched into the back, not when they have the flat back.
I know. Well, it was so funny because she's like, oh, I broke my femur. And so my mom was taking care of me and she bought some of the 306 ones and I did eat a few. It's okay, Mom. It's okay. Thank you for buying them, but I do like the other ones better. It's just like, all right. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I'm interested in your content. This is not me making fun of her. This is genuine like, I'll watch your videos. I will follow you on Instagram now. Thank you. I'm fascinated by people who collect or document anything like this.
It sounds like an offshoot of Serial Time TV where the guy reviews cereal, like 80s cereal.
Yep, and look, I think that's awesome too. I love the whole act of collecting, which is why we have a podcast. It doesn't matter how we got here, what your thing is. If you collect something, I will listen to you talk about it passionately. Please do.
I mean, Johnny, I've told you, I listened to a COVID era Fortnite investing podcast, and it was fascinating because it was so not at all the same perspective I have on anything in life. But I do like collecting stuff.
Yeah. Love it. Anyways, Tyler, how are you doing?
Johnny, I'm doing fine. We're working.
You're doing
I want to talk about something that I was going to wait until it ended.
You can't.
But we're going to be out of it's going to be 2 weeks later. There's going to be headline news somewhere. There is on eBay a matte sticker sealed Super Mario Brothers in like 9 out of 10 condition. He has the box, both sides of the box, front and back, are right behind something, and like the reflection is so clear in the black. It looks like the box has been polished. It is possible the box has been polished, but there's like no dents, no anything.
So there is ways to polish cardboard if you are a card collector, you know how to do this. You know how to clean cardboard and how to polish it to get that shine, get some of the scuffs and stuff out. There's even like some like compounds that act as fillers and stuff, but this box is clean. Also, for the people listening right now, who do you think brought this up? Who do you think was like, hey, did you see the matte sticker seal Mario that's going for a ton of money? Is that a Johnny thing or a Tyler thing in general? If you answered that is definitely a Tyler thing, you were right about that, but Tyler didn't know about this. I had to tell you, which is baffling to me.
I don't check eBay. I don't have time.
But this is just a thing that would be in your
yeah,
sphere.
I know. I know. No one brought it up to me. You brought it up to me first, so you're the one who brought it up to me. Like, what do you want?
I know. I'm just surprised. I was like, hey, you hear about that Mario? And I wanted you to fill me in more. Instead, you're like, what Mario? And I was like, what do you mean, what Mario? What? You're the guy.
To be clear, I said it was sealed. It's sealed at the top, and they opened it from the bottom.
Yes.
Because you can technically rip open an NES thing from the bottom. So this is like us crazy collector people. Someone looked at that little sticker, and they're like, well, I can't ruin the little sticker. I got to open this from the bottom.
I love this person for that. I love that they had that moment, and they're like, I won't do it.
I'm going to say this is real. And the reason is, and they might be doing this to mislead me, the back of the manual is a little bit messed up. It was clearly laid on something with some kind of texture, and they got a little bit of that texture rubbed off on the manual. But everything else is in such good condition, and it was open from the bottom. I think in terms of the way the market is, well, all right, first, the market only cares about sealed games, but this should be like the number one thing you could collect in America. Fuck the late print gloss sticker seal. This is probably the best matte sticker seal Mario you could possibly get. Like, this is the one. And we're pretending Japan doesn't exist because Japan doesn't count. And a first print Zelda goes for like $300,000 in mint condition right now, I think. They were like $270, something like that. So what should this be? This is complete in box. It's not sealed, but it's the closest to a sealed matte sticker Mario you can get. So I'm going to say this should be $250,000, Johnny.
$250,000?
It's not going to be. I think it's going to sell for like maybe $70,000, but...
Is this the thing to invest in? Is this the thing you should be like, I'm selling my Bitcoin, I'm buying this, and I'm going to wait?
I would not invest in video games. And that's not just it's my hobby. I don't want you to ruin the purity of my hobby. I just think... I look at like VT Sachs and it's gone up like 23% last year. It's like, the stock market's pretty fucking crazy, guys. You cannot get these numbers in video games over the long term.
If only someone harped obsessively about this.
Yeah, that was our VT Sachs call out. Yeah. Shout out to index funds, guys. Love them. No, but I do think like I don't think, man, investing in video. If you spend $200, I think the first print Zelda is one of the best things you could own. But like, if I'm investing $270,000, am I buying a sealed video game that's otherwise worth $1,000 without the seal? It's like such a niche, weird thing. Collectibles are weird because collectible prices don't mean anything. They don't make sense. It's all vibes. That's why it's a terrible thing to invest in.
Yep.
But this is it. Anyway, Johnny, I'm predicting $70,000. Give me a prediction. Okay. We're going to look stupid when this sells.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know about this market.
There is no market for this, to be clear. A half-sealed matte Super Mario Brothers? This is such a niche item. Like, who is looking for this?
So we have like 2 days left on it. We're cruising into Friday, and this thing ends on Saturday.
Yeah. It ends Saturday afternoon, and to be clear, it's at $25,000 right now.
It's at $25,000. Usually, like, I have some kind of, a lot of times I have math on, like, if it's been bid up X number of times and we still have like a couple days left, I usually feel like it's going to 10X what that is, depending on.
There you go, $250,000. All right, we got it.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get there on this because it's too big, and we only have a day left. That's usually I'm like 4 days. I'm going to go. I'll say 100. I'll say 105. 105. I'll be spicy.
Look at that. Aren't we going to look dumb when this sells for $25,100?
I will not be shocked if it ends at like 41.
Oh, yeah. It's so weird. You know, the thing is, well, it is ended by the time anyone is listening to this. But like, people might already know, like, oh, I'm going to bid so-and-so amount on this. And like, people could game our betting markets. Yeah. Damn, we should start a video game predictions market, Johnny.
Let's do it.
That's where the real money is.
So you heard what was going on in the Discord, right? Like, you have to do shout outs again.
No, we're not doing shout outs again. And I'm sorry, everybody.
So I figured I told if we get 10 new subscribers, we'll do shout outs again. But that will be just enough to pay 11 Labs to just read their names.
No, that's even worse. Stop it.
I know. No, look, if you won't do it, this is what the people want. Okay. I can't do the shout outs. They don't want me doing the shout outs.
Why not?
I don't know why they don't want me to do it. They want Tyler to do it. Look, if you want Johnny to do the shout outs, I'll do the shout outs. I'll record it one time. We don't get that many new people, and I'll just run a recording of it. But I know it's not me.
If you want a shout out, just message me on Discord and be like, Tyler, talk about me and my thing on the show. And I will just talk about it. I don't care.
No,
I will talk about I won't just give you a nickname. I will talk about like what you're into right now. Because when I'm listening to podcasts like this one, I like hearing what just like people are up to in the collecting world.
They want to hear their name yelled weirdly at the end of the episode. I don't know why. I've never been
Famicom Box retro game enthusiast.
Yeah. D nuts. B nuts. B nugs. B nugs. It was B nugs. He's gone. B nugs. He left us.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That's some classic Collector's Quest stuff now, because I haven't done those in a long time.
Yeah. The people want it. They are
Johnny,
you see all these channels. Look, you see all these channels that like do like the shout outs. And I'm always like, who are the people who paid the upgrade for the shout out? But they exist. So we're going to make the $10 tier, and it's going to be the shout out tier.
Yeah, we're not doing that because I don't care about the money from this podcast. But
look, you got something special coming your way. Okay, buddy?
Sometimes you see an up and coming YouTuber and they're posting like a video every other day and they've got the fire in them and they're willing to put in as much time and effort to make the best product as possible. And that was Tyler when he was doing the shout outs. And now he's like, oh man, we got to do this every time. And every time I edit, and it's literally like a half hour to do the shout outs because I re-record the shout outs every time.
Why don't we just have it recorded and then just play it?
Because the fucking Patreons change.
Not that often.
Also, nobody wants the recording. It was interesting because you'd hear me a little bit different every time.
You think that's what it is?
Fuck the shout out. Just cut this whole section. We're not doing the shout out.
No, we're leaving it in. I want the people to know. They keep asking me about it like I'm in charge of it. I'm not in charge of everything on the podcast. Tyler's the editor. He gets final say in a lot of this stuff. So like they come to me and they're like, Johnny, why doesn't Tyler do the shout outs? And I'm like, I know the answer because it's time consuming, but I agreed to bring the will of the people to you, and then you shout at them and tell them, no, you pieces of shit, I'm not doing it.
I'm really bad at dealing with whatever the opposite of like social media dopamine is. Like I hate looking at our numbers. I hate when like our listener numbers go down. So when I log into SoundCloud, I block the part of my screen that has our listener numbers. I'm like, doesn't matter. I'm doing this for fun. And I would hate being like, oh, I got to remove this person from the shout outs because they quit the Patreon. Quit the Patreon. I don't care. I hate money. Capitalism is evil. You shouldn't be giving us money. But I hate, it feels bad. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a bad job at my creative endeavor. My listener count is down by $200 200 listeners this week.
Yeah, who cares? Well, you weren't even here. Like the first 2 episodes I released that had like 3 viewers. Yeah, who cares?
I'm only saying this because I'm very positive that you can no longer find this. I did a very brief, it was like 10 episodes, Game TZ podcast, the used game trading zone. And that podcast was probably listened to by 10 people. So I understand doing a podcast for a very niche audience of basically people we know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I did, like, God, who came over? A few people. It built, like, people, like, from the blog and stuff, like, eventually found it. And they were like, okay. It's like, that's weird. But here we are now. We had 3 viewers then, and now we have 15, 16. It's great. We're doing it.
John.
Anyways, Tyler, do you want to get into the meat of this episode? I know you're dying to because you want to get away from shoutouts as quickly as possible.
Johnny, I think that the set of people that deserve to be shout out is just so big because there's so many people I love that are related.
I know. We've been collecting viewers for a long time. Anyways, so set collecting is dead, yeah?
I don't know. Everyone we talk to seems to be collecting a set.
Right. Everyone, so many people are like, yeah, it's dead. And they will tell me it's dead. People will come up and tell me it's dead. And then they will tell me the set they are working on.
So
it's very confusing.
All right. Why is that, Johnny?
Because set collecting is not exactly dead. It is not in the state it was. People that, again, collecting has changed quite a bit. It's been in this flux. It wasn't just WATA. It wasn't just COVID. It was like a culmination of many things. Like we talked about in the year-end wrap-up, I think we were talking about like the 2016-17 plane. It was a flat line. Collecting video games was a flat line. And now we're kind of moving to that area again where the market is settling. Lines are going flat, again, or things are coming down and starting to rest, right? People say retracing or whatever, but we're not going back to like 2004. We're not going back to 2012. The market is becoming what it is. Collectors are coming in and they are still building sets. And I've talked about collecting spread, and this is not just for collecting, but in entertainment, media, monoculture. It's the same thing. Like there's just too much stuff now, but people still have found their ways to sets. And I want to talk about, if you're going to do this, I want to help the people, Tyler. I want to help them collect sets. I'm not advocating for it. We'll talk about the pros and cons. You'll give us a list of that. But if you are going to do it, I want to take what we know. I want to tell you a little bit how my mind has changed on certain aspects of collecting sets, on like how to do it and where we are now. And that's the episode, Tyler. That's what we're going to do.
All right, Johnny, I think that when we say set collecting is dead, you don't agree with when I say this kind of stuff sometimes, but we're coming at it basically from old guy Nintendo age collectors, where we remember logging on in like 2010 to a forum and everybody there was collecting the NES set, and not just collecting the NES set like, oh, I'm picking up an upgrade here or there. I'm turning my cart here into a CIB, but I have the whole cart set already. Everyone there was like in the throes of buying all the Nintendo games actively, like multiple games a week. Everybody had like, oh, I've got, my list is 432 out of 677 in their signature. And it just seemed like the thing to do. And those guys, even the ones who still collect, NES, SNES, Game Boy, stuff like that, they've either completed their set and they're just done with that kind of thing, or they've moved on to like, oh, I'm just like upgrading this thing to sealed over here, and like they're picking and choosing, but they're not in the era of like, oh, I bought a lot of 20 new Nintendo games and 18 of them are ones I don't have yet.
But we're not just collecting NES sets anymore. That's the thing.
I know, but the GameCube people and Wii people and Wii U people are still collecting the sets like people collected NES 20 years ago.
Yeah. They're still out there. There are people collecting Xbox sets. Michael Pitts yesterday, in the middle of the LJN podcast was like, I have been thinking about doing the original Xbox set. And it's just, what a wild take in 2026.
Mike.
And I think we just dumped on the Xbox not so long ago, says the guy who's like 50 games away from a set and bought like 60 Xbox games last year. We got more people just coming out and be like, maybe I will complete the Xbox set.
It's the Intellivision brand of modern gaming. Like, it won't be around, or it will be in such a reduced form that it will not matter. So here's the thing. So Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out, and you have two ways to play that video game. You could play it on a PC if you have an expensive PC, or if you're a normal person. How many people do you think are going to buy a PS5 just to play GTA 6?
I mean,
Sony is looking at that like that is our fucking payday. We're going to onboard so many people into console gaming, to modern console gaming, just because GTA 6 is coming out. Like, you're not going to play that on the fucking Switch. This is the console now. We have PlayStation. That's the console.
It might be the PS6 by the time it actually comes out.
All right, that's fine. Either way, Sony is the way to play video games at home, and Nintendo doesn't count because Nintendo's its own thing.
Well, what about Steam?
You can't collect that. It doesn't count.
The Steam console's coming out. I'm just saying. It's not
sure.
the only way to play it.
I want to. You know, if you're a PC collector, I want to see someone who has a complete in box original Steam machine. So the original Steam machines came out 7 years ago or something. They're like little tiny Alienware mini PCs, and they were fine. They just weren't like the all-in-one curated experience that it needed to be. So no one really bought them. It was just a computer.
Yeah, I mean, it's still basically just going to be a computer.
Yeah,
with a Steam interface.
But now they have a super good operating system.
Modern consoles are just computers. So, like, what are we even talking about?
It's true. They're just computers, but like they're by default full of ads, and they're like slower than they should be considering how much technology has progressed over the years.
What was that? What was that computer brand from like the mid 2000s? E-something?
E-machines?
Was it E-machines? They just like, they were cheap and they came with all the bloatware possible.
I mean, every computer did, but yeah.
Yeah, but like E-machines, like some of the cost of it was subsidized by all the bloat that they put into it. Basically, consoles are E-machines. That's what they are.
This on our podcast about collecting sets of video games. We're going to be dunking on consoles. They're all E-machines, guys. Don't become an adult. Become a PC gamer. What are you doing?
No, I'm not saying that, but that's essentially what it is. It's a computer with a bunch of shit you don't want or need in it. And it's just like taking up RAM, and you're like, you never have enough memory and storage to keep everything. You're like deleting shit. Like, I don't know why the hard drives aren't bigger. It's just like, come on, man, let's just do better than this. Anyways, yeah, doesn't matter. People are still collecting. I've also been hearing of people collecting Xbox One. Apparently, Xbox One games still come with paperwork.
What is going on? Is this on like Instagram? Like, who is on Instagram?
Dude,
Xbox
people
One?
Just message,
guys.
People message me. Okay, look. I don't know. I've been at it a long time. People message me. They want to talk about sets, so we're here. Here we are. They were talking about the difference between PS4 and Xbox One and like PS5, and how much more paperwork you actually still get in Xbox One and Xbox Series X games compared to PS4 and PS5 games, which have like nothing inside them.
That's a fascinating reason to collect Xbox instead of PlayStation.
Not the reason. They are doing it, and it's a thing they noticed.
I mean, hey, I like knowing that, because hell, if I'm ever going to recognize that, I don't know if I have an Xbox One game. I think there are a couple like dual format games for Xbox One and something else. I might have a couple of those for some reason, but like, I don't know if I have any Xbox One. I'm almost positive I don't have a Series X game.
Maybe you do.
Johnny.
Yeah.
You know, someone might have got me, or like Concord. Like, I have a couple like stupid flops, like Concord and Anthem. Maybe I have one of those.
Yeah, you do. You do have Concord.
John, do we want to let's start at the top, because we can't just get into set collecting. We can go over our thoughts on where the pros and cons of set collecting. Let's say.
Yeah, that's the plan.
So I was going to make a list of pros and cons, and I realized that a lot of pros and cons are the same. So I didn't even try to. I just put down a bunch of thoughts. So, for example,
well, you give me an example. I was going to say, give me an example of something that's a pro and a con.
Your set is never really finished. Man, you're collecting NES. You can subdivide it, but there's not 677 NES games. There are over 1,000. There's a few thousand NES games, especially when you start including foreign releases and variants and homebrew. It never ends. So that's good, because you don't want collecting to end, but it's bad because the point of collecting a set is to feel like you accomplished something, and you're gonna get there, but you're never really gonna get there. That drives me crazy. As someone, because I have put so much time and effort and money into some of my sets. For example, the set I'm probably proudest of, my Sega Genesis set, I don't have a Heartbeat personal trainer. I have an Outback Joey cartridge, but the rest of my set is complete in box. And Outback Joey is this thing, is like, does it count? Does it not count? I think it counts, and I don't really have that complete in box. And that kills me. And I don't want to spend $10,000. It could be more. I'm not keeping up with the prices of this stuff. But I don't want to do it because I don't care that much. It's just going to eat at me just like a tiny little bit for the rest of my collecting career.
Do you have a save search up? Because someone's going to buy one of those and just want the cartridge and get rid of the rest of it.
No one would ever do that. Everyone who has a
Yes,
Harpy personal
they
trainer
already-
knows that
they-
they are better than all the other collectors.
No, this has already happened.
All right. I honestly, I don't care at all. Like, I wouldn't spend $5,000 on it. There's so many other video games I would buy.
Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure I have your quotes right. This is killing me. It's eating at me. I hate this. I would never do that. I don't care.
There are
I just
so
want to
many
make
little
sure
things.
that I understand.
There are so many little things like that. Like, I got my Ultima collection. Let's be real. I'm never going to own a Calibeth. Like a real copy of a Calibeth. There are like 20 or something real copies that exist. And then there's like some side stuff. Doesn't matter. I'm never going to own a copy of Calibeth. My Ultima set will never really be complete. And
Not
it
with
kills
that
me a little bit.
attitude.
Am I going to spend a ridiculous amount of money on one? No. Would it make me happy? Briefly. And then I would move on to the next thing I don't have. Because that's how collecting works. I would feel happy when I bought it. I would feel happy when I got it in the mail. And then I'd be like, oh, well, I still don't have a Harpy personal trainer.
Yeah, never going to be good enough.
I guess sometimes we don't explain things, Johnny. Harpy personal trainer is an exercise console that was released with an exercise bike and the game Outback Joey. It is technically a Sega Genesis, but it doesn't actually say Sega Genesis on it. And so it's kind of one of these, does it count, does it not count, part of the Sega Genesis sets. And there were only like 2,000 of them sold, so they're super rare.
Yeah, not 5,000. The magical 5,000 number.
There's however many. I don't remember how we got. Some of the sales numbers for things are BS. I feel like the 2,000 for Harpy personal trainer makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, I'm just. That's the joke. When somebody doesn't know how many things were made, they're always like, and they only made 5,000. You're just like,
10,000 is a pretty
fake ass number. Yeah. So just to let people know how production numbers actually work in games, it's not like they're like, make 10,000. It's like, well, we can ship this many on this pallet and they fit into this many boxes. Like our production factory over this course, we could spin up, like if you said, oh, it was like 7,841, I would be more likely to believe you than 5,000 because 5,000 is just like a weird number. That's not actually how factory production runs, unless a factory specifically is told we're making 5,000 of this. And we don't care about efficiency. Usually in production, you're trying to make all of your buys as efficient as possible to ship as few shipments as possible of your thing, or you're doing it over a controlled time window. Anyways, that's just a little bit about production. So whenever someone says 5,000, I'm always like, Also, whenever someone says an odd number, I'm also like a little bit like, yeah, probably not. Usually even numbers.
All right. There's a pretty fascinating, I will say, it was some kind of internal document that listed the actual production numbers of a bunch of Player's Choice GameCube bundles. And it was fascinating because, like, yeah, it was all like, 7,431 of these made. And they knew the exact number of them that were made. And it obviously wasn't 10,000. It obviously wasn't 5,000. It was just like a random number of games that rolled off the line.
Because it's how many fit in a box. Like we ship it in these boxes and goes on this pallet. This is how many we can do in a line on a day in the factory. This is how many can be produced. And they're like, okay, produce it for 4 days. It makes this many. That's how the math actually works.
Johnny, the next part about set collecting. Set collecting is expensive. And I don't think set collecting is expensive in a way that it's not any more or less expensive than collecting any amount of video games. If your budget is, $200 a month to blow on stupid video games, you're going to spend that one way or the other. But if you are set collecting, you are starting from the beginning telling yourself, I am going to spend money on a bunch of games I don't care about. And I mean, that's the game. I mean, there's pros to that too. It's also like, checking things off a checklist is a very fun thing to do. But ultimately, you're going to be buying them for that one hit of dopamine. You get 2 hits. You're going to get when you buy it, when you receive it, and when you complete the set is going to be another one. And then that thing just exists in your life now for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Johnny, set collecting takes up, as a counterpoint to being expensive. I'll put the other money one on here. Spending money on random video games is like anti-investing. I think there is a sort of clout you get for being a set, maybe not clout. I don't know if that's the right word. You are projecting an image that you are a true collector and you're here for the love of GameCube, the love of NES, because if you're investing in stocks, you want to spread out that money to as many companies as possible to get like you want to be able to make sure that you hit the ones that go up. If you spread out your money in video games, you are almost certainly not making good investing decisions. Like, if you had a choice whether to buy that sticker-sealed Mario or to buy the GameCube set, the sticker-sealed Mario is obviously a better investment. So if you're collecting sets, you are like, oh, I don't care about that fucking investing shit. Fuck those guys. How do you feel about that? You're just saying,
No, I agree.
Johnny, sets take up a lot of space. That's kind of obvious.
They do. Yeah.
Guys, it's a problem. It's a structured way to collect. I put checklists are fun, and that's a pro and a con, because when I've been actively collecting sets, I've been less incentivized to buy like nostalgic games or games I like, because if I had an extra $100, I'm like, well, I could buy a Nintendo game. Why would I? I never bought my thing that I say is I never bought Half-Life on PC, which is like a top 10 PC game of all time for me, and I never owned like a big box copy of it. Because I was always like, well, that could go towards Wacky Races on NES, a game that sucks.
It does suck. But that's okay.
You get to buy something new every day. That's a pro and a con. Man, how many times was I at work collecting any set? I could log on to eBay. It would be effortless to buy something. Because when you have when you're in like the terrible middle of a set, you've got like 400 out of 700 things. If you have 400 out of 700 anything, there is something you could buy right now at the right price in the right condition. And
man, imagine if you had eBay on your cell phone.
You know what a bad hobby is? Something that causes you to be able to buy something right now at any time just for a little hit of dopamine.
Maybe.
Johnny, the community around collecting sets is very fun. It is pretty easy. I've obviously surrounded myself with a bunch of people who like old Nintendo and Sega games. Because
you have indeed, yeah.
We have a lot of people who like that kind of stuff. I'm sure it's super easy to break into like the GameCube or the Wii community. I bet the Wii community is such like a niche and weird thing, because these guys are like, you'd find your kins who are like, oh, you don't understand. Yeah, let's talk about the rare Wii racing games. Like it's fun to have a community. Things like that.
Man, you got the double Wiimote version of that game. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm over here as a different collector. Yeah, I don't care, dude. Go talk to your Wii people about that.
Oh yeah, that one came with the racing wheel. That one's sick. Nope.
Johnny, the modern, almost since the mid 2000s, set collecting has gotten worse. So there's things like collector's editions, limited run games, and codes and boxes, and that is not nearly an exhaustive list of all the weird bullshit there is with collecting modern games. It's another thing of saying the lists aren't cut and dry, but you really have to curate what you want to collect if you're collecting modern sets.
Yes, that is true. Also, man, we talk about it sometimes, but it's been a little while. We really need to work on our wording. Like, how is modern? What does modern even mean now?
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, when Tyler says modern, he means DVDs, basically. But I realize most people are like, well, Xbox 360 is retro. So,
yeah.
And Johnny, I skipped it because I wanted to talk about it last. In pop culture collectibles, collecting sets is seen as an old or unsophisticated way to collect.
Oh, I wonder who's told you that.
You're just saying that because I said the word unsophisticated. I thought about it, and I'm like, no, I think that is the perception. If a comic collector, like a hardcore comic collector, and when I mean hardcore, I just mean anyone who has a bunch of CGC graded books hanging on their wall in a grid. Oh my God, I know multiple people with CGC graded comic books hanging on a grid in their wall. They don't have long boxes full of like, here's my run of Aquaman. Here's my run of Infinite Crisis. Like, whatever. They don't collect that shit. They collect the good stuff. And if they saw you and you were like, oh, I'm going to collect Action Comics, well, maybe not 1 through 1,000. That's a terrible example because you're not going to get the early stuff. I'm going to collect a run of Aquaman, just to say something I've collected. No one would say that's a good idea. They would be like, no, get the number 1, get the key issues. Like 90% of those Aquaman books are fucking trash. What are you talking about?
There are still people who do runs. The people who tell, oh, I got the full run. I have the full run. Those people still exist.
I mean, it's a part of being a collector is we like checking off checklists. I'm not saying nobody does this. I mean, people collect graded sets of Pokemon cards, but I don't think it's the predominant way to collect for the people in the middle. No, because even the people at the top don't predominantly collect sets. I feel like when you start out and kind of collecting sets is the default thing to do. Like you're collecting Pokemon, you can just try to get every Pokemon card from a certain thing. And then you get into good stuff. And then there's a breaking point where either you could get like a whole graded set of something, or you could just focus on really good stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know how people collect sets. But people like completing sets. Even if you're not collecting a full set of something, like Mike is collecting the Atari 2600 Activision set.
Yeah, well, people still break up things into little sets. That's the thing. It doesn't need to be a full console set. There are little sets, subsets that you can make up, and people still collect all their little subsets. I'm collecting all the Final Fantasy games. That's a set. I'm going to collect all these games. These are little sets. People love to group
set
things.
is, the better the set is, because that means you have decided to collect something more specific that you want. Console sets are a scam because you don't like every GameCube game. You like the Nintendo GameCube games.
I like all of them, Tyler. Best console ever made.
All right, Johnny, I was talking to our people in the Discord, and I was just getting an idea of how some of our people think about collecting sets. And man, a lot of people are collecting sets, or the people that responded to us were the ones who were collecting sets. Johnny, what sets are you collecting right now?
I'm unsure. I've got like 3 sets that I'm potentially in the middle of right now. You want me to list them off?
Yeah.
So Xbox, because it's like, I've come so far.
You just made fun of it like 20 minutes ago.
I said, as the guy making fun of it who just bought 60 games last year, because I've been inching towards the end of the Xbox set for like 5 years now. Like, this was the biggest push I've made in probably 4 years on the Xbox set. And that was just because it was opportunistic. But I need like 50 games. So I'm in the middle of that. I don't know if I will go complete that, but I'm very close. Game Boy Color is one I think about a lot because I'm more than halfway through that. And I have a lot of the top end. And I always think, man, I kind of want to finish the Game Boy Color set. And I know you don't love that. They're like saying Game Boy Color and Xbox. I know you're just like,
I know it's because you have all the good stuff already, so you have to pick up the dregs here.
Yeah. And then 3DS.
All right. Yeah. I mean, this is on brand. Johnny's collecting some weird sets because he has kind of some good stuff.
And just to let everyone know, I'm about halfway through Game Boy Color. I'm more than halfway on Game Boy Color, and I'm more than halfway on 3DS.
I'm not collecting any sets right now, but I'm also really happy with the sets I do have.
Yeah.
And so I've got card-only sets of like NES, SNES, Game Boy, and 64, all the Nintendo stuff, and then I have all the good stuff complete in box. And then, similar to a lot of people that I talk to, the top-end stuff is preventing me, I think, from continuing to upgrade my set. And very specifically NES, where, I don't know, I probably have half the NES set complete in box. And the reason I love NES, Johnny, it's my favorite console. And the reason I don't go for more, because I have all the stuff I really like complete in box, is because, one, I don't own a Stadium Events cartridge. And even that is like, I just don't care about Stadium Events enough that I'm going to ever own it. And I will absolutely never own it complete in box. So I could start upgrading my NES set of like the games I don't really like. And then I'll get to the end and it'll be like, well, it's still not even complete after I spent another $30,000 on this fucking set. So the set killer is stopping me. And I was talking to Mike from the LJN podcast, fucking Stadium Events Mike. He said he wants to collect TurboGrafx, but he doesn't care that much because he's never going to collect the top 5% of the console. Because who wants fucking Legend of Hero Tanma? Who wants Magical Chase? They're so expensive for something that's so niche that you don't really care about.
He's also looking at Genesis, and Genesis is a very weird set to collect because the top end isn't that heavy.
That's why
Like it's expensive. Like there's a bunch of like games that are expensive, but the set killer for Genesis, especially if you don't count Outback Joey. What are we talking about? Musha? You can buy like one game that's $1,000. It's not if you are already in the mindset that you are buying a set. To be clear,
I assume Crusader Ascenti is like at least $2,000, right?
Yeah, like, but this is it.
Yeah.
Like every set has like a little something, but that's not stadium events.
GameCube has a bigger set killer than the fucking Sega Genesis. How about that? Right?
Yeah. Pokemon box for sure.
Oakley's in our Discord. I'm just going to go through some of our people, Johnny. He said he's avoided collecting Sega CD and 32X because of the top end stuff, specifically Spider-Man on 32X. Don't avoid collecting the Sega CD. The top end stuff is Sega CD, I think, is super cool. Like Snatcher is such like a grail, I think. I guess KO.
We're two
KO's
weirdos
like
that really like Sega CD though. Like we like Sega CD. Though.
I do like the
We're
Sega
weirdos.
CD a lot. It's so unique. God, every console is the fucking same. Like you said, they're all computers, and Sega CD is over here just like doing whatever. It does not care.
No, Sega CD is definitely its own thing. Hey, and good call on Crusader Ascenti. Price charting has it exactly at $2,000.26.
There we go. Although I went and looked on eBay, a graded 9.2 sold for $2,100.
Oof.
That's a good grade. Like it's got the shrink wrap on it and everything. Like I would have bought this. I need to upgrade my copy.
Crusader Ascenti is in a cardboard box, and those things are always dog shit. So
what?
A 9, if you're getting a grade above a 9 on a cardboard box, you're doing
it's a 9.6 box. Why did this guy list this and buy it now? I don't understand. It's
because no one cares.
Such nice condition. Oh well. And he listed it right before Christmas too. That just seems like a big miss.
He needed that money.
All right. Shanks is collecting Neo Geo CD and Sega Genesis because he wants to be different than everybody else. He's collecting Nintendo.
Neo Geo,
I don't know what's the motivation.
Big money
Shanks,
baller
for Neo Geo CD. I like the idea of collecting things that no one else has, and no one collects Neo Geo CD.
That's a good set. Neo Geo CD is a good set.
Sure. And because AES is stupid and ridiculous, so Neo Geo CD is kind of the reasonable way to collect Neo Geo games.
Yeah.
Joe is doing like mint super high-end SNES games. He wants the SNES set, and he's starting like by collecting like Sealed Metal Warriors. He's just like he's really attacking the top, which I think is something we're going to talk about later in the episode.
That's literally a phrase I use.
Very focused. Jay from the LGM podcast, I know, is collecting the Super Nintendo set. Final Fight CD. Guy in our Discord who will probably defend set collecting more than anyone. That guy thinks set collecting is the way to collect video games. The idea of key video games or video games that matter is bullshit. And if you're not collecting sets, you are doing it wrong. And he has a Sega CD set because his name's Final Fight CD. So
yeah, he's got the best Sega CD set.
I'm on board.
Like, let's be fair.
I'm on board with him. I appreciate his enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
Future Man is over here. He has a full SNES, like a cartridge set, and he's like 2/3 of the way through upgrading his loose set to complete in box. And I feel like that is a place that a lot of old Nintendo collectors are at, where like they have what they want, and now they're slowly picking away and upgrading stuff. But it doesn't feel as exciting as the days where we were buying lots and checking things off lists as much. Tiger Wolf is going for the Koei set, literally the set of every video game Koei has ever produced. This is one of the most interesting sets because go try to find a list of every video game Koei has published. It is so difficult. Moby Games doesn't have it. Like the various Koei wikis don't have it. His list of Koei games is better than the publicly available data.
He is the guy. If you need to know about Koei, this is your guy.
Like the first 7 Koei games are kind of these iconic cassette releases for Japanese microcomputers. They come in these almost generic looking red cassette cases, and just finding like a list of those is not easy. Like you go on Wikipedia and you'd expect to be able to click, list of Koei games. Or you go on like the Koei wiki and you click list of Koei games. You would expect to be able to just see like, these are like the first 7 games they ever made, so these must be on those lists. And they're missing from those fucking lists. It's like, what? Yeah. They're not that obscure. Video game collecting knowledge is bad, and historical video game knowledge is bad, and this hobby doesn't matter, and everything's going to zero.
And AI is going to ruin lists by proliferating misinformation.
All right, hold on. I'm taking a break. I got 2 more people I wanted to bring up. What was I looking up? Oh my God. It's something like these production number things. Like this wasn't the example, but I put into a search engine, like, how many copies of Panzer Dragoon Saga were made? And the little AI preview at the top said like 10,000 copies of Panzer Dragoon Saga were made. And I realized that all of this bullshit forum data gets fed into these AI models, and things that were lies and myths become facts when the LLMs spit them back out at us.
Yeah.
It's so fucked.
Yeah, no, we are in a bad place for information. It seems like information has never been more abundant, but also never more wrong.
That's very true. Also, I've seen a couple people do this. If you are in an argument, do not post LLM output. I'm not saying like don't research something with an LLM and then use that to formulate your argument. I see people, they're in an argument and then they post, but ChatGPT says this. That is not a way to argue anything. Don't do that. Ah!
No, just like when you write your papers for school, change the words up and pretend like they're your own.
Pretend it's your own argument. Oh my God. Guys. Galdius, frequent guy on the end of the podcast where we talk about whatever we got. He's collecting basically every video game that ever came out in Brazil, but mostly Playtronic releases, which are rare and exciting. And
he gets some American stuff. He's just got such a good collection.
He has a really good collection. And then, of course, Corey, the final boss of Set Collectors, is going for the set. Yes, the OG CIB is going for the set of video games. Every physical video game that ever came out in North America.
Just the best set collector in the world.
He is.
And don't forget, like, Milwaukee Retro Gamer, who also is just buying every video game ever made.
Well, you know what? He didn't respond in the Discord, but yes, Milwaukee Retro Gamer, who has like a fake name that he was on like one of these, like Retro Rick or something. They gave him some different name, but
no, I think they called him OGCIB or something like that.
They called it, yeah, it was something very similar.
Yeah. I was like, you can't be that. We already got that guy.
And if I didn't shout you out, it's because these podcast notes were made in 10 minutes as I was digging through the Discord. Okay. But we love all of you guys.
We do. All right. Tyler, are you ready to get into what has changed, what we know?
What has changed?
So, set collecting, again, we talked about when it was. What is, if anything to you, for going forward in 2026 has changed? For me, it is the idea, I've always said, be opportunistic, right? Buy where you see a good deal. I still think you have to be opportunistic, but I think you have to be more selective now on what you're buying. I have a whole list. I've got a whole list of rules. I've revamped the rules. Some of them are consistent to what they were, but I just think how selective you are, and again, being obsessive about condition and having rules is the thing that we used to talk about, but it's more important than it's ever been now. Make your rules and attack the top. These are like 2 of the first things you have to do. And I don't think that was how I approached it before. I had some ideas. It's like I had some structure, but like keep it fun and like let it come to you. I think if you're going to do this now, the money is too high. The effort is too much. If you're going to attack a set, I think you really need to button it up, especially if you're going for multiple sets. The other thing is, used to be able to do sets faster. The money was not as much. This is definitely not a sprint anymore. Like, it never was, but the idea of just like, I'm just going to knock out this set in 6 months or something. It's like, just take your time. This is your hobby. Relax and enjoy it, and like, let it be the marathon it should be.
Here, if anyone is feeling the FOMO, because video game prices, like prices on everything, do generally increase over time. We do get the rare decreases. But as your money, if you're saving your money, if it's sitting in in your brokerage account in that VT Sachs, or in like an index fund, your money is probably growing faster than the price of video games, or you know what, whatever, video games have a crazy year. It is comparable. It's in the realm. You're not missing out. If all video games suddenly doubled in price, like the stock market probably also went up a lot because probably everything is just way more expensive now. So don't FOMO into everything being like, oh, it's $300, it's going to be $400 one day. Yeah, because the money is going to be worth less. That's how money works. It loses value over time. Everything is going to be more expensive. So don't FOMO into it because of the numeric numbers. FOMO into it because of the real prices, which I don't think changes much. If anything, the real price of video games has gone down over time as a collectible.
Yeah, and that's one of the other notes I have is just that FOMO is not as real as it used to be. Like, you should not let it drive you. There was a period where it was like really bad. And again, remember, you said everyone had their like little list. Even when everyone had their little list of like, oh, I'm at like 300 of 677. Games were still abundant. There's still a lot of games out there. But you should not be settling. We're in the era of not settling now. So I'll get into that. But what else you got?
I think we're in it. I mean, you're saying we're in an era of low FOMO, which is correct, but there will be another cycle of FOMO where it feels like, oh my God, I got to get everything now. And you have to make the rational decision now to realize that FOMOing into everything is usually not the right plan. And you're going to see, no matter what you buy, you could have bought everything, you could have bought nothing. You're going to see like, oh, Pokemon box went from $4,000 to $8,000 and I fucked up. That was $4,000 free dollars I could have had. Yes, there will be some video game you haven't bought and it's going to spike in price and you're going to be like, oh, I fucked up by not buying everything. No, you didn't, because you don't have a crystal ball. It's like looking at Nvidia stock and being like, oh, I could have bought Nvidia stock. I would have been rich now. Yeah, but you didn't know. So you wouldn't have bought that because back in 2017, you didn't fucking know.
Correct. Yeah. It is hard not to get sucked into FOMO. Well, I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. So don't beat yourself up if it happens and you get got a little bit, but try to relax, try to take a breath. And now we've lived through a whole FOMO cycle and we're on the other end of it. Just look at it now. Like you've seen it and you know what the result looks like. So you know that you don't have to go that hard. And again, this stuff is all mass produced, so you will probably have opportunities.
I'll see it again. You know, I love those price charts of the uncommon-ish rare GameCube stuff where people spiked it up 10x and then it slowly came down over the past 5 years. Turns out even the rare stuff, there's stuff out there. It's just not all immediately on eBay right now at all times.
Yes.
If there's even one copy of something on eBay, if there just happens to be a copy up, that means there's a shitload of them out there because one happens to be on eBay. Let's do a quick Poop Slinger check, Johnny. A game definitely only like 80 copies of that made, right?
88, right?
Yeah, 23 of them in sold listings. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, there's more. 12, 13, 14. And now we're getting in 15. And the mailer. No one's bought the mailer yet. So around 15 copies of Poop Slinger on eBay. This game is going down in price, man. You can get them for...
I think Tamagotchi is more than that, right?
Really? I don't know how to spell that, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, I think it is now the more expensive game.
Poop Slinger is flirting with $1,000 sealed here.
I had an offer at one. I was offered one for $1,000 and I almost took it. And like, I'm still tempted. That one sold. I think it sold for like $900 or something. I was like, man, should I have bought that? And the answer is probably no.
Probably no, Johnny.
No. And if you go look at any of those limited rare games, the newer ones, like the basic copy will always come up. So don't freak out if you missed it. You'll be fine. Poop Slinger, again, so many copies of this game that just doesn't exist, right?
It's the rarest video game. Only 84 copies ever made, Johnny. A real number.
Well, what is that? I call it Tamagotchi, and that's not. What is that stupid game?
Yeah, Tamagotchi Life. That's it.
No.
Tamashi is called, I think.
Yeah, Tamashi.
All right.
Anyways,
I don't care. No one cares about limited rare games. It's in the same realm. It's a little over $1,000 for Tamashii.
Yeah. So, Tyler, are you ready for me to get into my rule set? Like what I think needs to happen?
Tell me how to collect sets.
Okay, here is the first
hold on.
thing.
I was going to download the Game Eye app and get a set list off that and then just use that to track my sets as I get them. Is that what I should do?
No. First off, avoid all these stupid apps. What you are going to do, the very first thing you are going to do is you are going to get a list. This is assuming that you've already decided what you're going to collect. You need to have a list. You need to have a solid list. And you've decided on the set you're going to do, but you need to put in rules, right? You're like, okay, here's my list. Now make sure you have your rules. Look over the list, make your rules. What counts, what doesn't. Again, this is your set. You'd be like, okay, I'm only doing licensed or unlicensed. Make that distinction early on. I'm only doing this region. I'm only doing the US. I'm only doing PAL because I live in Norway. Like whatever it is, have those rules hard and fast. I'm only doing stuff that is in the life cycle, the natural life cycle of this console. I'm not doing modern new releases. Make an agreement with yourself that if you are collecting something like the Super Nintendo set, you don't care if Limited Run releases a version of it that you can technically play on the Super Nintendo. That's not a real copy. Make sure you're buying of the era copies of these games, right? So,
I will say, I mean, this has been a long time I've been saying this, but I don't agree with in the set, out of the set philosophy. I think you should definitely, no matter what, be making multiple lists. And, it could, even for a simple console, like for Super Nintendo, like you need the list of games, you need the list of unlicensed games, which is like one, and a list of player's choice games. You could break things up into different lists. And what's a much better example? Like, yeah, with like an Xbox or something, you've got the collector's editions, and you don't want to be like wondering like, oh, well, should I just buy all the collector's editions? Is that where it's at? Have a separate list of collector's editions. Have a separate list of pre-order bonuses. Have a separate list of bundles that include multiple discs in a single release. Because like there'll be like the Tom Clancy trilogy that has 3 Tom Clancy games in one Xbox thing. Is that an Xbox game? I don't think that is an Xbox game. It is something on the Xbox. I don't think it's a game. I don't think it belongs in the list of Xbox games. It should be in a separate section of the same spreadsheet. Just because I hate this idea of does it count, does it not? Because then everybody has slightly different rules. And then people are like, it only counts if it's retail. What does that mean? Fuck you. Nintendo World Championships Gold released to the public on the NES. That is a game that counts for the set, in my opinion. But you might have a different thing, so...
It doesn't matter. That's your take. That's exactly as you should do it. First thing I said was, what do? You start with a list. That list has to have all this stuff so you can make your rules around what you're putting into your list. You have to have the good list so you know what you are doing. And then you need to be obsessive about your list. You need to curate that thing, dial it in, and know what you're doing. You have to, like you said, I love the idea of breaking it up and here's special editions, here's player's choice. This should not all be in like one column on your thing that you're just putting check boxes down. You need to go have this all broken out, know what you're doing, know what regions, just know what your rules are. Again, this is your set. You can collect it however you want to collect it. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying, what Tyler's saying, but you should at least know your own rules, right? So you can be like, I'm not listening to you and go no rules and see how that works out. I promise it's not going to be great. But again, get your list, make your rules.
All right. And Johnny, we're going to say a very common thing we say, that all lists are bad. So how do you start out with a list? You're going to download a list from somewhere. God forbid if it's an app, but you're going to get a list from somewhere. Hopefully there's like a really collector focused like collecting group that you can get it from to start out with a good list. But even then, everyone's list is fucking terrible. If you need something to do that is not going on eBay and checking boxes off of a list, go through your list literally one game at a time. And there are so many things to fix because everybody's list is fucked up. When I was going through my Game Boy list, just like maybe 1 in 10 games, I disagreed with the title of the game on the list. I thought like, oh, this was a tagline that you included in the title. This doesn't really count. or like something got fucked up. Like Choplifter 3, I know is a really weird game because it's got like a tagline, but it doesn't appear in the manual or like the title screen. It's just like, there's all these weird things that I disagree with on lists. And fixing your list to make it how you like is part of the hobby. It's a way to engage in the hobby without spending money.
Yes. Again, that's why I said, go through your list and be obsessive. Here's your permission to be as obsessive as possible. You want to do that. You want to go over every list with a fine-tooth comb. You want to go through the contents of every game you buy. You want to document everything. That's all part of the rules I'm going to suggest to you. But first thing, get that list. Sort it, get your rules. Then what Tyler said, that's actually the next thing on my list is find your people. And that's where you would go to find your list. Find your people, find your collecting community, be it Collector's Quest podcast, Video Game Sage, wherever the people are who collect the thing you collect, go find them. And that might be Facebook groups, it might be a Discord. Go there, talk to those people, find your subject matter experts, learn from them, find the YouTube channel that's got the one guy who's like completely ridiculous about it and is going hard. Learn from these people and let that inform how you make your rule set. After you've made your rules, after you've got your list, after you've found your people, go be obsessive and then re-go through your list and then make sure your rules are good after everything you've just learned and be like refining that the whole time as you go. This is a living document. Your collection is a living thing. You should be checking and adjusting regularly.
And when you find something on your list that you disagree with, like the publicly available list on, make sure you bring that up as a fun trivia fact every chance you get. When someone says, "Oh, I just got Race America on NES," you say, "No, you didn't. You got Alex DeMio's Race America, you mean, right?" And you file that under the A's on your shelf, right? So I'm being facetious, but also I genuinely love when somebody tells me like, you missed that size 2 font on the front of that game that nobody ever notices.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's Will Harvey's The Immortal? Like, what are you talking? Who's Will Harvey?
Yeah. Also, like, I'm assuming you've picked your console by this point. You should pick it. I used to say, and one of the things I've changed my mind, like, have like 2 things. Like if you're collecting video games, you're probably collecting 2 sets. I don't believe in that anymore. Pick 1 set and just make that your obsession. It costs too much money. It costs too much focus. Life is busier. There's too many distractions now. There's more distractions than ever. More things are stealing your time and your attention.
The more sets you collect, the easier it is to say like, oh, I'm just going to buy all the good $20 games. And even though we're going to say attack the top, you're never going to buy like $2,000 games on multiple consoles at once, and it's going to prevent you from buying the big games on any of your consoles. And they're just going to be stuck with a bunch of the trash.
The next thing to do, one, I agree with you. The next thing to do is find out the price of your games, right? And then learn what the top end is.
Oh, I've got pricecharting.com. It tells me the price of all the games.
It's a fine place to start to learn what the top end is. As much as we dunk on it, I don't want to rely on it for everything. It's a perfect place to start if you're in the beginning to know what the expensive stuff looks like. And it doesn't mean go buy the most expensive game as your first purchase. I don't actually agree with that. I think if you want to enjoy your set, I think you should do 2 things. You should be looking to purchase 2 things in the very beginning of your journey. You should be picking some nostalgia items, like your favorite games. The first thing you should buy is your favorite game on the system. I'm just going to say that. If you don't own your favorite game on that system, make that the first thing you buy. You know why? You'll look at that and you will be happy. And then if you want to get some of the top end stuff, that's fine. And then mix it with some of your favorites. If all of your favorites are like $5 games, and like, maybe don't worry too much about that, but make sure you know what the top is, and you should be attacking that ruthlessly. Like, again, sprinkle in some nostalgia games to keep you going. Be like, I love this game. And it feels so much better when you get a game you love than when you buy Exertainment, Mountain Bike Rally, and Speed Racer Combo Pack, which you don't give a shit about. Ruthlessly attack the top. And here's why. Those are boring, but the reality of collecting sets is that you might, if you are collecting a large set, find yourself a year in and go, I fucking hate this. I do not like this. I'm not enjoying it. My financial position has changed. I'm changing jobs. I'm moving. I have to downsize my house. Hopefully it works the other way and you're getting a bigger house, you got a better job and you got richer and you can buy more games. I'm hoping that for you, but the reality is shit happens. And if you only have 10 games in your collection over a year, but you bought all of the games that were $1,000, it is a lot easier to move 10 $1,000 games than just $105 games. No one cares about that. That's not anything. Like if you spent $10,000 on the bottom, that's going to be all the filler. That's not the stuff anyone wants. The demand is going to sit near the top. So you can get out of the hobby a lot quicker if you've consolidated your purchases early. And then you're like, I made a mistake. And maybe you just move those and then you keep like 3 of the nostalgia, your favorite 3 games. And you're like, that's now represents my game collecting journey. And I'm happy with that. That is a safer journey than just being like, I used to say, just be opportunistic. You see like this good middle game, then grab it. It's not the way anymore.
Also,
I don't think that holds.
No, I agree. Also, if you just like stopped collecting, like you don't even sell it off, if you stopped after buying the top 10 games in the set, your collection looks fucking awesome. Because you know what? No one cares about all the stuff on your shelf. They're like, oh, damn, you've got Cubivore and Pokemon Box and that skateboarding game, Go Go Hypergrind. And they're like, oh, you got all the good stuff. So you're a really good GameCube collector. And you bought like 10 games. You don't have all the fucking over the hedges on the console.
Why? You really want over the hedge.
It's on the Phoenix resale buy lists. I mean, people are out there looking for
cool.
over the edge, man.
So, yeah, anyways.
Johnny, when we say go after the top, I wouldn't just start at the most expensive game and just buy whatever's on eBay and start down from there. So have the list of like, the top 20 games in the console, like the expensive stuff, the good stuff, and always be looking on eBay for when there's an auction of like a mint condition copy for sale. Because you know what? You will never feel bad about the price you pay. A mint condition Musha comes up with the registration card. And you know what? Musha isn't even like, there's a bunch of decent copies of Musha on eBay right now. But when one comes up at an auction with the registration card, whatever you pay for that, it's the market price because you're winning an auction. And like, I've never felt bad about winning an auction ever. Even when like the nice stuff sells for a premium, because it always does at an auction. And every time I buy it now, I'm thinking like, well, this was sitting here, meaning I'm a sucker for buying it because no one bought this yet.
Yeah. If a game has been sitting, like, do check new listings, new posts, because people make mistakes. We just talked about someone like, can't believe you put that as a buy it now. You should have had that as an auction. You would have done better. But
dude, if someone has a 9.6 Crusader Ascenti with the shrink wrap and they want to sell it to me for like regular CIB price, I'm there. I'll buy it. Come on.
Yeah. So again, people do make mistakes, but if it's been on eBay for 3 months and it's just like, well, I guess I'll just buy it now. That's not the way. And again, this is what knowing the top end is. Now I'm going to tell you to be opportunistic because you want to know what the expensive games are. And it's not buy the most expensive game. It's attack the top. So know what the top looks like and then be looking for it as it comes up. Look for open auctions. Look for people who have a bite now. Check Facebook groups. Look for someone getting out of the hobby. Where can you find a deal within these 20 or 30 games that is the top or whatever, or maybe it's 10 games, depends on your system of choice. So know what those are. Know what the top looks like. Know what the prices are supposed to be doing. Do your research. That's the next thing. Like to know the top, you have to have done your research. I told you, go with price track. If you're not researching and you're not being obsessive, you aren't going to be as successful. We've always talked about this. This is still true. Collecting is still a knowledge game. The more knowledge you have, the better you're going to do than other people. It's just how it is. Oh, I know this variant. I know this one comes with this card. I'm going to do better because I know this comes with a reg card and a poster and it actually comes with a little sticker inside too. A little warning label or something. This is missing that. I know when I buy my copy, I'm going to have the better version. And if I ever need to sell out, I've got the best copy available. So have the top, know all the contents, attack around it, look for good opportunities within the top. Don't just go to eBay, like Tyler said, and pluck whatever's there. That's not the way. But wait for your opportunities to come in. Still be opportunistic, but at the top, not at the middle and the bottom. Or like just big lots. Sometimes big lots are fine if you want to fill out the middle, but big lots are always going to come around. So you don't need to get that now. That's the other point I want to make. The middle is always going to be churning and sitting there. So is the bottom. So it doesn't matter. You're like, wow, this is a great price on like a bunch of like low end games. The only exception I will make to that is if everything is dead mint. Cellophane still on. And here's my next rule. Be condition obsessive. It is, you need to make as part of your rules, and this is it, be obsessive about condition. Whatever you think the best condition that you should accept, maybe bump that up one notch.
No one has ever lowered their condition standards as they've gone on as a collector. They've only increased it.
Yeah. So like wherever you think you should start, you're like, it's like, no, don't do that. In fact, I have condition rules here that I have explicitly that you should avoid. So in this rule, I'm talking about it. Like the closer you are to perfect, the better. Again, that might be a big money jump for you. And you might be like, I'm okay with this like box, but there are things that you should have a baseline for. The box needs to be structurally intact. If you like open up that box and without the foam or a box protector, it just falls over. You don't want it. Try to avoid any kind of severe crushing damage. Absolutely no water damage. No tears through the art. Minor edge wear is like probably fine. You got some rounding on the corners, a little bit of whitening, maybe some rub marks and stuff, some scratch. Like some of that stuff is probably going to be fine. But the better you can do to being perfect, you're going to feel better about. The manual, one, it needs to be there. Like that's the other thing. Collect as complete as you know. Don't be like, I'll just go get the manual later. Tyler and I have documented it. If nothing else of the 10-year journey of this podcast, Tyler and I will document how much of a fucking mistake it is to go backwards and try and buy manuals. Why do you think I'm a guy who obsessively buys manuals now? It's just the trauma from my past mistakes. So I just buy manuals to be like, just in case. Who knows when I'll be stupid again. Don't do it. Don't just.
Also, every time, almost every time I've gone back to buy manuals, in most cases, if you're buying a game without a manual, it's already in like okay condition at best, because the people who lose manuals don't really take care of their games to begin with. I almost always end up just replacing it with another complete in box copy of the game. So it ends up being a placeholder for a game that isn't even like really checking off my checklist because I never had the manual to begin with. So I might as well not have bought it to begin with.
Buy as complete as possible. Get the maps, get the posters. And that's where it goes back into the information. Everything is going to feed back into knowing what is supposed to be in the box and being condition sensitive. And that's not just the condition of the box, but that's the condition of the contents inside and the condition of completeness. Okay. We talking about conditional rarity. Yes. All of that. Be obsessive with conditional rarity, but also be, completeness sensitive, right? As complete as possible. You know, it's got a warning sticker that's supposed to come in there. Get it. If you can buy first prints and you can determine what are first prints, buy those. You're going to be happier in the long run. Even if it costs a little more, you are going to have the best stuff. The rules I'm giving you, I wish I'd done. It would not matter to me that I would have 10 less sets or whatever, or half the games that I own. My collection would be better for it. I would have a better collection and I'm still collecting. So I would still be enjoying the journey. So if you're an obsessive weirdo collector, like, look, I've been here for 20 years. If you're just like, I kind of like games and you're just dabbling, but if you're an obsessive weirdo like Tyler or I, then you're going to be here for the long haul. You have time. Just take the time and do it right. It's so much less time to do it right than to go backwards and then try to fix your fucking mistakes.
I think you need to be prepared to spend way more than price charting on literally everything. Because whether it's the good stuff or the absolute junk, I think it's always worth getting the nicest copy you could find. And the reason for this is I have like a shitload of Xbox and Wii games and stuff. And like so much of my Wii junk, I bought my Wii stuff. I bought like hundreds of Wii games from GameStop and they're all in like pretty shit condition. And I hate them all. It feels like junk. If I had bought, probably on Wii, I could have just bought them all sealed. If I had like 200 nice sealed or like mint condition Wii games, even if they're junk, that feels like a fucking collection. When I just have like the GameStop level quality of Wii games, it feels like I might as well throw the whole thing out.
Yeah. I got a big sticker on the front and back that is never coming off. There's just a disc in there, which may or may not be the right disc for it, because we famously reprinted discs in like mirror discs or art discs. And it's just like,
I won't buy a DVD game that has a sticker on it anymore. There are enough copies out there without stickers on it. Like, oh, you can remove the sticker with Bestie and stuff. Like, no, I'll just get the one that never had a sticker on to begin with, and it will always look better.
Again, your time is valuable. That's the other thing. By paying $2 more, maybe you save the time and you're just like, you can go do something else. Go work overtime. Don't spend like your price per hour removing stickers and getting them perfect. Like, just go get a second job, because that's how long that shit takes to get it perfect. You will do better by just having a second job and buying the nicest things possible than, being like, well, I'll buy under and then I can like really make it. If you have the time and this is your job, well, then and you're really good at it, more power to you. But for most people who don't have time, you're just going to be like, oh man, this is worse. Always buy better. Again, as close to perfect as you can.
So you're saying only buy mint sealed games. Got it. All right. So
look, if that's buying mint sealed games, there is an appeal to sealed games. You know it's complete. Okay. We just talked about
you don't, because you don't always know what's in the box. It might be the version that doesn't have the phone card inside of it.
Schrodinger's game. You've got one. Here's some more condition bans. Water damage, mold, or odors. If your game is stinky, like, you can get cigarette smoke out, and sometimes you just get a game and it's got cigarette smoke on it and there's nothing you can do about that. Like, you didn't know, it wasn't mentioned in the listing. Dryer sheets, a box, baking soda, these things do help. No sun fading. Absolutely. If your game has sun fading anywhere on it, especially like a DVD spine, no, don't do it. It's not worth it. You're going to be unhappy about it. There's no fixing sun fade. There's no amount of pressing the box that is ever going to fix your sun fading. Okay. Replacement cases, no games in a replacement case. There's absolutely no reproduction manuals or boxes. Like, if you're collecting a set and you are trying to go for that complete box set, look, you got the Stadium Events cart, you just want a box so it like sits in there, like whatever, but don't kid yourself. Don't make that the rule. Like, make your rules, and then if you break it for one thing like that, then, have it be the exception, but don't have it be the rule. Too much pen. Yes, I know some people can get, permanent marker off of things. Again, that's fine. People say, oh, Magic Eraser. Magic Eraser is a wonderful tool, but it also takes layers off of things. So it's not the restoration tool you think it is. Sometimes it's damaging your items.
Oh, no, it is. Magic Erasers are sandpaper. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm letting people know. So here's a good way to feel about it. If you put it on your shelf and if it looks worse than everything else on your shelf, or it devalues your shelf, then it's not acceptable, right? If you put it in there and then you're kind of squinting at it like, oh man, this one, then you shouldn't have bought that game.
You're gonna try to give yourself an exception, like, oh, I've been waiting months for this game to come up, and one finally came up. And the more you settle, the more your overall shelf ends up looking like that junk GameStop shelf that some of my sets look like.
Yeah, same. Again, I wish I had someone screaming at me like this, teaching me back when I was starting.
And my Xbox set, like my Teen Titans is fucking awesome. My Outrun 2006 is awesome. But you know what? All my EA Sports games, all those nice white labels, some of them are like kind of yellow and shitty. And it's like, oh, well, that just makes my whole set look like shit. Even though those were the $3 games that I bought on jjgames.com that are kind of the ones that are fucking up my collection there. Even though my nice stuff is really nice.
Yep. More rules. Like, this is big on condition. You want your games to work. Original labels, obviously, no replacement labels. No peeling corners, no rips. Like, on your cartridge, again, you got some rubbing or something. Fine. Again, close to perfect as possible, especially on the box. But on the cartridge, if you just have like a rip through the art, it's already small art. You can't have rips through the art. Just
all of this stuff is mass produced. There's enough nice copies of stuff out there that you don't need to settle for any major.
There is, I will say, a rule where I will break this. If everything else is super nice and it's just the cart, because carts are so easy to replace, I don't like doing that because I don't like, again, completeness and like what actually came with what is hard. But if you can verify that you can find the exact same version that was in there and it's just the cart, then fine. Because ultimately, the outer pieces, the box, manuals, posters, reg cards, that stuff is the hardest stuff to find. So really, you should focus on that. And that's part of the next set of rules I have. The items that are most important, it seems weird, but you're collecting as complete as possible. The cart, the least important part. Do you disagree?
I mean, no, because it's the easiest to replace.
Right. And people should know that. So again, if you found something and it's got everything mint, all original, looks beautiful, but the cart is just beat up, buy it, replace the cart. But again, know that you have to do that. Don't just settle, be like, well, I guess this cart's fine. Just replace it, sell it, get rid of it, do whatever you need to do. Suck it up as part of the cost of getting super mint items. And as Tyler said, expect to pay over price charting. If this is like a really good deal because the cart looks trash, but everything else is great, it's not actually a better deal. You have to buy a better cart, but now you have a super nice one.
Johnny, can I say something controversial
Please.
As someone who dabbles in the sealed games? Because we are trying to get the nicest stuff, every CIB thing you get is going to be like, there's going to be a little problem with it unless you get something from someone who's just like so meticulous and it ships in a box. And when you're collecting a set, man, you're going to get so much shit that ships in bubble mailers. So many games are destroyed or damaged just by like being shipped in bubble mailers all the time. But like my rule of thumb, if I could get a sealed copy for double the price of a complete copy, I just go for the sealed copy, especially on the cheap stuff. I'm looking at Barnyard on GameCube right now, like a fucking nothing game. But look, it's like $30, and there's a sealed copy for $45. So I could get like the average condition one that's just going to be like a filler on my shelf, or I could just get the sealed one. It's going to have cellophane on it. It's going to be 100% complete. It's going to be really nice. And it's just going to be so much better. I don't think you should go from a $15 Crazy Taxi to a $200 Crazy Taxi. That doesn't make sense. But to just be able to spend, I know double the price sounds like a ridiculous standard, but like the condition difference and the number available, there's less than twice the mint copies available than copies available at half the price. Something like that, Johnny. It's basically always worth upgrading condition. I think condition is still undervalued, even on stupid shit like Barnyard on GameCube.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, and we're trying to collect as complete and as nice as possible. So stickers on games. How do you feel about stickers on games? I'm out on DVD cases. On cardboard, sometimes you'll have some rental stickers on the carts. Depending on where it is, if it's not like directly on the artwork, I'm okay with a rental sticker. Not like a Blockbuster stick, like a historical rental sticker. I find some of those charming, but I will say that is me. I find some charm in that, or like a rental sticker on the manual. Okay, but my advice to you is not to find those things charming. My advice to you is to find the cleanest, best, nicest ones and avoid that shit when at all possible.
Yep. I have so much stuff in my collection that has like stupid stickers, especially like Blockbuster stickers in the back of like Super Nintendo cartridges and stuff. Like I'm not going to go clean that all up, but I wish I just bought a nice copy to begin with. Also, man, when I was buying NES and Super Nintendo cartridges, and this stuff I was buying a long time ago, like I did not care about the back at all. My thought was like, oh, I'll just replace the cart backs if I ever really need to, like, there's a rip in the cart back or something, I'll just replace it one day. Fucking no, I'm not. I've got like hundreds of these games. I'm not going to go through and figure out all the backs I need to swap. And then like, they have like there's variants and imprint codes. And I'm not fucking doing that. So care about the backs of your cartridges. Damn it.
Yeah. Care about also getting it as in the most original condition as possible. Like, hopefully it only had one owner and it's like you're not finding pieced together stuff. And this goes into my upgrade policy. When is an upgrade allowed, Tyler?
Oh, always.
You can buy, well, here's when it's allowed. When it's not just an upgrade, it's like a placeholder. A placeholder is allowed when it already meets your minimum standards, which should already be high. Replacing it later with a better, cleaner copy is always going to be fine because you already bought a nice one and you'll be able to move the other nice one, especially if it's good. You're not allowed just to buy junk just to have it. You're not keeping multiple copies just in case. you don't get placeholders just because let it be below your baseline. You must set your standard and then try not to go below that ever. Every placeholder must already be set worthy. That's the rule.
Okay, and that's a good rule because the more your standards are going to raise over time, and then even stuff that used to meet your standards is going to fall below, and it's already going to be a huge hassle to try to bring everything back up to spec. And yeah, if you start out with stuff that's already below that line, it's going to be even worse. It's just going to be overwhelming.
Okay, this is going to be hard for people like me. Variant discipline. You pick the variant you want or don't care about variants at all. You don't need to buy multiple copies of a game. When you start out your set and you're just trying to get one of each one, you got a long list to check off. Be disciplined here. I know that's hard.
I'm going to get variants. Fuck that.
No.
If I'm collecting one set, hell yeah, I'm just going to get all the variants at the same time. Let's go.
Yeah, get them later. Get them later. Do your set first, unless it's like weird top end variants.
No, because variants are hard to find. Sometimes variants don't come up, and that's something that's like really easy to opportunistically buy, as you would say. Because like, oh, hey, this weird thing with the Prima strategy guide included came up.
Yes, I agree. But for me, I'm picking the one I want. But if you're just trying to get through your set and you're only ever going to do one set, like people burn out. It's hard. My advice to you is to know the variant that you want and have that in mind, or just say like, I'm happy with base copies, or be like, I don't care about variants at all. I'm really just about this checklist life, and I just want one of every one of this. That's fine, because you can come back to variants. That's the other thing. We just said most of the stuff is masters. You can come back. This is an excellent thing to do at the end of your set. Like, what do you do once you're done with a set? Then you go in and you do the cool stuff. If you weren't moving on to another set, then you just start doing shit to make your set as awesome as possible. And we'll talk more about that. But I really think you should be very disciplined about variants. Like,
I don't.
Do you care about UPC variants? I don't really care about those unless one means it's a first print and one doesn't.
I mean, a lot of those mean that.
Yeah. But like there are some, but that's not exactly true. Because there's a bunch on like GameCube where there's like 3 UPC revisions. One's like, oh, this one might have had the movie poster. This one was sold at Walmart. So you have like, it's like, oh, I think this is a revision. And what they did is they stuck a sticker on the outside cellophane. So you don't even know. You just know that there's like 3 different UPCs. Get the one that you know is the first print and try to move on with your life. Logo changes. I don't really care about those. Usually that's indicative of a timeline though. So try to get the original logos. Unless you know, like, oh, well, this one's very rare with this, the Square Enix one, like that kind of stuff. Fine. Pick the one you want, though. No going in. It's just a variant. Players' choices are not good stand-ins, even mint ones. A player's choice set to me is like a completely different set. If you are filling your shelf full of the nicest stuff, the VGDB just posted a thing about like people who don't care about this and you should love them. Look, it is fine to have a full set of those, but those are a variant, and that's not the one I want in my main set. That's a set unto itself. Like I look at a player's choice set as like, yeah, there's the Super Nintendo and then there's the Super Nintendo player's choice set. I don't really combine them in the same thing. It's its own little deal. I have all of them and I like them, but I don't like mixing them into my main set. I don't want them touching. Please don't. No touchy. Okay? Just, you're all in your own buckets. I know you hate player's choices, so this is...
There was a time I was into the player's choice Xbox stuff, or the platinum hits and all that, because like it's fine. It is... So I do kind of hate it because it's the thing that broke me. It's like, I was so deep into platinum hits and like the rare platinum hits and the variants of platinum hits. And I was just like, oh, fuck, none of this actually matters. What am I doing? I need to come back to reality.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to keep spending money on the same things over and over, especially when there's a bunch of different versions of the same thing. Here's what I'll say about variants. As you are collecting sets, you are more than collecting games. You are collecting information. You are doing a thing that most people aren't going to do. You are diving into a set and you are learning all about it. So please be documenting. Document everything. This is part of your rules. This should be like right up by the top of making a list. making a list is part of documenting. Document contents that you're getting, things that you've seen. If you see a variant, document it. If it's not publicly out there, your life will be better the more documenting you do than the less documenting you do. And I know you don't believe that now because it's a pain in the ass, but when you're going back through, like knowing you're like, oh, I paid this much money for this. I know it's complete. I put it in this spreadsheet. I put it into this collector's app. Wherever you put it, you documented everything. You know what's in it, so you don't have to like going into a box to open it up to like see what's inside your box is the worst. You are damaging your game. You're damaging it. You're just making your condition a little bit worse each time. You might slip and drop it. You might press too hard and put a little crease in it. You're micro creasing all the edges and all the folds. If you just got it once and you documented everything that was in there the first time you got it, you'll know. Take a picture, do all the things. Do it that one time, and your collection will be better for it. And you will feel better when you go to look up. You're like, oh, hey, what was that one variant that I wanted? Because I know I have this one because I'm looking at my list. I do need that one, or I do need that insert. I'm fine buying this.
Yeah, it's a huge pain in the ass. And when you're over there at work browsing eBay on your phone when you're not supposed to be, really helpful to see something and be like, whoa, do I have that? And then be able to just look up the pictures rather than trying to memorize which 1,000 video games you own.
Yes.
As someone who doesn't have pictures of all my games in a nice database, man, I wish I had that.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to get there all the time, but it's hard.
I used really descriptive. I have like a really long description field for my Sega Genesis games because I documented all the inserts, all the variants of everything. I tried to get like part codes and stuff in there. And even that took me fucking forever to document all this. I went through all my Sega Genesis stuff and I look at it, I'm like, I should just taken pictures. Like this was a huge waste of fucking time. Pictures were so much better than anything else you could possibly have.
It is. And now I'm getting to the point like, I'm like, do I just want little videos? Is that like pictures and video? Where am I now? It's a different time. Here's some other rules, some quick ones. It is good to set a goal for like a timeline, like how long you think it's not a race, but you should like objectively like put some time on it or like time bound yourself a little bit. So you're moving at it. So you know, you're making progress. Budget for this. Have a budget in mind on like how much you're going to spend on video games and try to stick to it. Imagine, and people aren't going to like to hear this, but manage this like you would in an investment, right? So you're just, again, you're just being disciplined about how much money you're spending and knowing what you spent. You're going to be doing a lot better because it's really easy just to be like, oh, that's a good deal. This is a good deal. I got these good deals. And then you're like, did I spend like $3,000 on video games in a month? Was that wise of me? Should I have done that? And what do I have to show for this $3,000? Is it the two best games on the system? You're like, no, it's a bunch of mediocre like stuff that this is like looked like good deals. You don't want to be in that. And like maybe $3,000, this is a very extreme example for you. That example could be $500. But if that $500 isn't like 2 or 3 really good games for the system, and you're like, oh, I got like 20 like mid stuff and maybe this doesn't even fit on my shelf, you're not going to be happy about it. So budget hard and give yourself, within that budget, give yourself timelines for when and how you're spending money.
Budgeting's a waste of time. Come at me, budget people. I think budgeting is very similar to people who get really into notes like Notion and things like that, where they like fucking with their budget so much or like fucking with their notes so much that it doesn't really become about the thing. It becomes a hobby into itself to track every little. I bought some groceries. I got to put that in the budget. Oh, I bought a coffee. We got to move this money around from this pool into this pool. And it just becomes a little dopamine thing.
That's fine. That's true. I don't disagree with that. But you can be like, all right, I put $500 into this account and that's what I'm spending this month. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, just like move $500 onto this credit card or whatever, and be like, and have a notification set up. It's like you've hit $500. It'll send you a little notification to your phone. You're like, all right, well, I'm done buying games for the month, I guess.
So I do the opposite because I have no discipline. But first of all, you should be maxing out your fucking 401k if you're not doing that already. But all my extra money I immediately transfer out of my bank account and into a brokerage account. Because if I see money in my bank account, there's no budget for me. If I see I have money, I will spend it. So I have to put it into another account or it'll be gone. Like, oh my God, I got an extra $4,000. Well, it's time to start looking for that Heartbeat personal trainer.
Yeah. Whatever you need to do. It's like put $4,000 on that debit card that doesn't allow you to overspend. Whatever it is, set it up with your bank where it locks it after you've spent $5,000 or $500 for the month. Whatever your thing is. Again, I'm not saying like
$5,000 a month. Who is listening to this podcast?
I don't know. Well, you'd be surprised. It's not me. I'm not spending that kind of money on games, just so you all know. But I would say like, just know about how much money that you are able to spend each month. That's not, and that doesn't, again, it's not a goal to spend all of that money. I should say to you, it is not a goal to make sure you've spent all the money. That's not what you're working at.
See, this is a problem. If I had an account like that, I would spend all the money. Johnny, if you're collecting a set, it's effortless to spend any amount of money because there's always something to buy.
That's why I said attack the top end, but be opportunistic. Wait, like you want to find that open auction. We talked about it. Wait for it. And it's fine. Like if you don't spend that money now, be fine knowing like, okay, I have $300 in my monthly pool. Oh, I didn't spend all that. Let that go into next month's pool. Now I have $600 and now I can attack a bigger game. Let that happen for yourself. Inject the discipline you need into this hobby for yourself. I know it's very hard, but you will be in a better place if you do that. I'm not saying I've done that. This is really more of a do as I say than as I've done.
Everyone loves advice like that, Johnny.
Look, I wish I had done these are things I wish I'd done. I wish I'd known. Don't you wish you had documented everything more religiously?
Yes, obviously I do. Yes, I agree.
Right. Don't you wish we knew more? So I'm saying do as I say, not as I've done, because I know what the mistakes are. I was never a kid who, like, your parents are like, don't do this. And you're like, well, what do my fucking parents know? I'm going to go out and make those mistakes. I was always a kid who was like, it makes sense maybe that why they said not to do that thing. I can look and see the results, and be like the outcomes there weren't great. So I'm looking for better results than that. Let's see. Like, again, be methodical in your game hunting. This is not a scavenger hunt. Like, be targeted, be disciplined. Let's see. We already talked about picking everything, I will stress being obsessive. Again, this is up to you, like how far you want to go, but like what's important to you on the system. You should like really know that, like, again, not just getting the set, attacking the top end, but knowing what's important to you on that. Like, because at the end of the day, if you stop anything that causes you to stop and you're like, maybe question whether you look at your shelf and be happy with what's there. If at any point you're looking at it and you're like, I'm not happy with what's there or how that looks, you should be questioning what your rules are. Go back, reevaluate your rules if anything looks out of whack.
Do you guys do that? Does anyone look at their shelf and be like, I'm not happy with my video game collection?
All the time.
Really?
All the fucking time. Yes.
Your collection's so nice, Johnny. What the hell?
I know, because I know which ones I messed up on, and I know I have to go back, and I don't have time, and there's always another set in front of you. I've been much happier with my Halloween stuff. Again, not as condition sensitive on some of this stuff. I'm just enjoying the fuck out of these ones. I can do whatever I want. It's an open world. And you can go collect like that. This is a fine way to collect. The world I'm in now, where I collect like this, is a fun world to be in, and I recommend it. But if you were collecting sets, you can't be all la-di-da. You gotta be more focused than this. All right. So at the end of the day, what is going to survive in set collecting? Curated sets, people who had rules, people who bought good stuff, pick your sets carefully, like maybe pick what you like, but if you like three things, if you are sitting there waffling between the original Xbox and like the Intellivision, I don't know which to pick there. That's the real Sophie's choice for me, but maybe pick the one you feel like has a bigger cultural impact if you love them both, try to give yourself some rules. And then the ultimate thing, do I have any more rules for set collecting? This is the ultimate and final rule. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, Tyler. It's the shelf test, right?
Does it fit on a single Billy bookcase, guys?
Yeah,
the Billy bookcase challenge is the ultimate rule.
Now, when you buy a game, and you look at it, just think of that game, like a Super Nintendo game, let's say, easy for me. Look at that game, look at its condition, not just like condition of the box and the manual and the cart, but its completeness, how complete it is, the condition of its completeness, and think, if every single game I owned was in this condition, would I be happy? Because that's really what it represents. If you're like, I would not be happy if the rest of my games look like this, then that maybe isn't a good choice.
All right. So your stuff needs to be in good condition. I get it. You're really harping on it because both of our condition standards have increased over time. I guess notably, both of us have been at this for 20 years, and neither of us have gone full sealed. Everything has to be sealed and perfect. So we haven't gone over the deep end, but we're still pretty picky about condition in our games.
Yeah. And it is so easy to be like, I guess this one's fine. It is because your want and your, I'm stressing on it so hard because the want and the desire and the little whisper of oh, but I really want this and it's so cool. It's going to be in your ear. The discipline is important. So this is how I would attack sets in 2026. And it's not as sexy as it used to be. It's not as loose. It's not as fun, I would say. But again, video games
not
are
as
more
fun. What?
I mean, I used to when you just bought, the more I know about the mistakes I've made, it just feels less fun. So now, I mean, I would still be having fun, but you're like, oh, I can't do this. If I could just go buy everything and then not worry about any of the repercussions, I'd just be like, oh, that's great. And if you can go collect like that and that makes you happy, great. But now if I went and didn't follow any of these rules, I would then be in the position I am now. And I'm just like, this is less fun because I know I didn't buy these with all the manuals and I didn't get the reg cards where I could have, and I didn't get the posters. So now it's just like, ugh, God, now I'm going back. And that's not the fun part. The fun part is getting the stuff, getting the good stuff.
I mean, so now it's not the fun part. I would say the time of my life that I had the most fun collecting, probably first when I first started and I was literally, I was a teenager. I spent my entire day. I had 3 browsers open. This was before browser tabs, I think. I had one on eBay, one on GameTZ, one on Nintendo Age, and one on DigitPress. And I would just rotate between them. There would be new stuff listed on eBay. There'd be new discussions on DigitPress. I'd fuck with that for 10 minutes. And then by the time I rotated through my forums, there'd be more new stuff on eBay. And and stuff was so cheap that on my Burger King budget, I could just always be buying stuff. And then other than that, my most fun that I probably had, this isn't healthy, but when I was receiving 3 games a day in the mail, collecting the Xbox set
Super
and
fun.
things like that.
It is
when it was just
super
a nonstop stream, in the JJ Games days when I would go on JJ Games, I would sort by lowest price on JJ Games because they had free shipping on everything. And you get to the $2 PS2 games and all this shit. And I would just go buy every game I didn't own on JJ Games.
Yeah. I did the same kind of stuff.
Oh,
and that
it was so
fun.
much fun. It wasn't good, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, it speaks volumes to the difference of how I look at eBay now. I used to sort by lowest quite a bit. I am much more apt to be sorting by highest price now than I am by lowest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100% I sort by highest price.
So, and a good reason to do that is just you will see things that are more complete, so you're learning. The most fun I have is usually when I'm learning about a set. I love just learning about sets, and I love finding things. I had a lot of fun doing the Sega, the cardboard stuff for Sega and the Sega CD, and I'm loving doing all the Halloween stuff. This is probably the most fun. Maybe the most fun I'm having might be now, Tyler. Once I start gearing up for October, that might be the most fun I have.
Because you get to learn.
Which is half the year I'm gearing up for October, so it's not like I'm just waiting till September.
Johnny, when did I come over your house? Was that for Portland?
Yeah.
Or not Portland?
No, it was in Portland. It was for
Midwest is
Milwaukee,
coming up in April here.
Yep.
My brain processes. You're talking about horror games. I think about Harvester. I think about playing weird games with you. We gotta plan that pretty soon. Midwest Game Classics coming up.
That's on my agenda. Sleepover and Milwaukee. It's time for us to do it. I just confirmed with our friend Corey that he is indeed in again for Milwaukee. So the crew's getting back together.
All right, perfect. Mike, we need to vend. We need some vendor badges.
No, just go ahead and message him and let him know.
We're gonna have 16 people at this table. Also, I love that vendor badges cost more than real badges because they're sick of people doing that.
Yeah.
And we're still like, yeah, I need that vendor badge.
Well,
I'm not waiting in no fucking line.
Yeah. Again, it's just like, it's not like I'm scooping up all the good stuff either. It's just like, I just don't want to deal with this part.
I'm over there to scoop up the good stuff. Just so you guys know, every convention's a scam and all the good stuff is gone because Pat Contry gets to all of it before you do. Not a joke. I'm over there looking for all the good NES stuff before the floor opens. Fucking Pat Contry is there picking up every NES game that has the shrink wrap on it. He's doing the same fucking thing as I am.
For a guy who sure hates collecting games, he sure is collecting games.
He's getting the good stuff too.
All right, Tyler, do we have anything else to say about set collecting? Anything you disagree or want to add to like how you should collect sets, or does that feel pretty baked?
Nah, I don't collect sets. Collect the good stuff. Collect your favorite games. Collect all the games you had as a childhood. Collect the set of games. Collect the set of every game you owned as a kid. That's such a fun set. I pulled that out once. I just pulled out all the Sega Genesis games that I actually had as a kid. I'm like, oh, this is a really cool picture that I'm taking right now.
I mean, I told you that's how I started. I was like, I'm going to buy, like my collection was like, I'm going to buy every game I've ever beat. That was how I started.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So set collecting's not dead, and you should set collect, and everyone in our Discord collects some set or other.
Yeah. Have fun with sets. We'll see.
So we lied to you all this time saying set collecting's dead. We actually lied.
Yeah, well, we've been getting you out of the way so we can complete our sets. Are you going to finish? I'll ask. We'll finish up this section with this. You think you will complete a set this year?
No, I'm not collecting a set.
Okay, all right. I think the odds are probably 30% that I complete a set this year.
All right, we'll check in. This is our January prediction, and no one's going to really care one way or the other if you do, Johnny.
No one.
But I'll care.
It'll be for me anyways. I do for me, not for others. When it comes to games, I do a lot for other people, but like when it comes to games, this is my joy. I don't buy games to make other people happy. All right, Tyler, that's it then. I hope you guys pay attention to this, and I know we harped on some of the same points. It feels like over and over again, but it's very important. If you have collections or if you have questions about collecting sets and you want to bring them to us, you can do that through our Discord, which you can get to by joining our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/collectorsquest. It's $5 and you get to ask us questions and be in our Discord, have these chats, and get some of our bonus episodes that are called After Dark, which we don't really even talk about games in. We talk about whatever we want. Tyler, are you ready to move on to the second half of the show?
I am. I'm already looking at what people have posted in their show off your games. What the best thing people have posted. Also, we got Henry here from the Get the Greg Games podcast. He joined as a patron to get into our Discord. We got celebrities.
Shout out Henry. Welcome to the club.
Eloist got like a near mint condition sealed gun neck. I guess that's kind of up there in the best things that people are posting. Gun neck. Man's got to be one of the best NES games. Not only one of like the actual best. Oh, there's a lot of good NES games, but like it's kind of like it has that same spot of being good and rare / uncommon, like Little Samson. But I don't think it gets the same. I mean, it definitely doesn't get the same clout as like a Little Samson. But Gun Neck's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. There was a lot of good stuff actually posted. Bird Dog showed off his Yu-Gi-Oh! What is it? Something of Destruction. I can't remember what. Reshef of
Yeah, wow, this sounds awesome. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Game.
Well, no, he's got it with the cards. It's always like a pain in the ass to make sure you have the cards. I love seeing any game with cards in it. Galdius just like showing off. We're just showing us like, hey, here's a Zelda. It's like, all right.
Here's a Zelda. No, so he got like a nice NTSC. I don't know if Brazil's NTSC. He got like a nice US copy of Zelda, but like, look, scroll up. He bought like 15 SNES games, 12 Game Boy games, like 13 Game Boy Color games. Galdius doesn't stop. He's here to buy everything, and it better be in Portuguese.
Yeah. PS2 RPGs, and then like he comes down and is like, oh, and by the way, I also got at the very bottom. He's like, a sealed Halo 3. Why not? Just man, the man's a maniac. I love looking at everything he posts. Yeah, there's some good stuff in the Discord. Kanakis showed off like some nice graded GBA games. If you're into a Space Channel 5 on the GBA, Kanakis got a nice one.
Hey, you know what? We haven't, Kanakis, we didn't bring up sets. He's going for the casual set of sealed Game Boy Advance.
Well, he's doing the RPG thing too.
He's also doing the RPG say yes.
All right. That's some of the best stuff we saw. Well, there's a lot of good stuff in here.
All right. We got to get a question.
What question?
Kanakis asks, is there an amount of money you could be paid for all of your collectibles that comes with a string that you can never collect again? And then, for example, he also says all digital libraries, games, and comics count too.
Collect anything? Like anything?
Like, can I not consume media anymore?
Yeah, like what does this mean? Like, yeah, like if I buy movies, am I collecting movies because I'm going to watch them again? Like, what is this?
I mean, if you give me a couple $1 million for all of my physical collectibles and just say like you can't collect anything ever again, I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm free. You did it, and it's all gone immediately. Like, oh, my life. You gave me my life back. I'm gonna go hiking or something, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what I'll just go do? I'll just go get a new hobby. Fine. Right? I have a lot of interest.
So the thing is, my backup hobby is probably painting miniatures, but then like there's a collectible aspect to painting miniatures. Like, do I have to start 3D printing miniatures that are no longer collectible then?
No, you just start hiking exclusively. You go buy a big house with a pool and take up lap swimming. Well,
yeah, if you want to ban me from all media, like give me a retirement amount of money. Like, I don't know what would be a retirement amount of money, like $10 million? Like, I want like a comfortable retirement if I can't consume any media for the rest of my life. So give me $10 million. I'm going to buy a cabin in New Hampshire. I'm never going to talk to any of you fuckers ever again. And I'm going to spend my life becoming a man of the woods. We're going to start a homestead up there. Oh, it's going to be good. We're never consuming media again. Oh, easily there's an amount. There's absolutely an amount.
Yeah, there's an amount. And I don't think that's what the question is, never to consume media. Like, does that mean I can just like buy a cable subscription so I don't actually collect it and I can just like watch what's on? Yeah. Like,
if I have access to YouTube, this price becomes lower because that love me a YouTube video.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Like, does that mean I can't collect information anymore? Like, man, I've wanted to write this book. This would be the time. Now I have the money to do it. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh man, like another backup hobby, like tabletop RPGs, I would love to get into more, but then like collecting the books. But maybe if I just get like all the digital copies on DriveThru RPG, it doesn't count. He says all digital libraries. Saying digital libraries counts feels like that makes this question weird.
Yeah.
Either way, there's a price though. Man, I will give up everything for a price. I want to retire and move to the mountains so bad, Johnny.
Look, man, give me enough money. I'm buying a bunch of property and I'm building houses and I'm moving all my friends into it and we're having a little commune.
Hell yes. Let me get full communism. I'm there, Johnny.
Look, man, you know, people are like, oh, I want to build a big house. I'm like, you know what? I want to build like just moderate size houses for everyone to live in. And then like a huge community center. Like, I will just build an arcade in the middle of it that we have in the community center and a big community pool for everyone. Like, I just want my own little community. That's all I want. That's my dream, is to have like a little community where just all of my friends live. And if we never had to worry about money again, it would just be like, we could just focus on doing the cool things and passionate endeavors. Like, oh man, I've always wanted to write this book. I've always wanted to paint. Whatever it is, that's what we're doing now. Like, making sure our kids are well educated and taken care of and loved every single day. Sounds great. Sign me up. Give me the amount of money that allows me to do that, and I'm doing it.
Oh man, think of all the great things you could do. Like I like RPGs. Like that kind of is adjacent to writing. Johnny, I could write a novel. Look at all the great things we could do with our life if we weren't collecting video games.
You could write a choose your own adventure book. That's an RPG.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yep. And you know I love to play Monkey's Paw. So like, give me an opportunity just to like play Monkey's Paw. I'm just going to start a YouTube channel where people ask me monkey's paw questions and I just answer monkey's paws all day and create stories around them.
All right, so does someone want to give me like $10 million? You could have all my material possessions on Earth. Like, come on. 'Cause surely someone's listening to this podcast who has $10,000 who doesn't want me to consume any media for the rest of my life. Like, just give it to me. Let's go.
Start a GoFundMe. Start a GoFundMe with $10 million.
Promises not to collect or consume any digital content for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Check in on me.
Don't check in on me. You won't have a way to. I mean, I guess you could send me a letter in the mail or something if I get mail.
Hello, Mr. Beast. This is a challenge that I would like to complete.
Yeah, Mr. Beast would give me the money for doing it for like 30 or 100 days, and I'm offering to do it for the rest of my life, man.
Yeah. This is a bargain. You guys start that GoFundMe, please.
Final Fight CD asks, if we had to start another podcast together, what would it be about, Johnny?
It would be about collecting.
No, that doesn't count. It can't be. This podcast is about, it's not called Video Game Collector's Quest. It is called Collector's Quest.
It is true. Ooh, God, what would we do a movie podcast? I think we would be really good because I think we like enough of the same stuff in movies, but our opinions are like drastically different about what
I don't think I'm a good enough critic to be a movie podcast because every time I like watching like YouTube videos where people have like video essays on movies, and I'm like, oh, I would have never been able to come up with this criticism on my own, and so I'm just not smart enough for that.
I think some of that's practiced, though. I don't know. I think you could get there. Tyler, you are a very smart and capable person.
I know everything's a skill. I think yeah, people do give up on things like, you know, it's writing a book. Like people are like, oh, I couldn't write a book. Like yeah, you got to fucking go write for 20 years and then you'll figure out how to write a book. But my problem is I don't care about the people who make movies, and that's a big part of movie discussion. Like, I could not give a shit about the director of a movie or the production company or the actors. I don't know any actor names at all. Like, who fucking cares? They're there to entertain me on the screen. And like, I like some actors. Like, fuck yeah, I love a Paul Dano, Johnny. I have a couple favorite directors, but like some people are just like, oh yeah, remember back in 1984 when so-and-so direct. I don't even know who directed fucking Back to the Future. Like
Robert Zemeckis.
Right? It's like, these things do not matter to me. So we couldn't do, it can't be a movie podcast. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's our dichotomy, right?
Tyler's just along for the ride and Johnny's the film nerd who went to film school.
I didn't go to film school.
Kind
of I did.
Kind of you did, though.
No, I took, written, directed by Zemeckis. Okay, and Bob Gale. That's what I thought.
I don't know. A movie podcast is so boring. What is more boring than, like, two fucking 40-year-old guys making a movie podcast? Like, no one wants that. We don't need another one of those.
Could we talk about horror movies, though? Like, could we just do
a horror movie podcast? Well, stop the presses. There's a new idea out here.
Stop it.
As a horror movie podcast, probably the Angry Video Game Nerd has a horror movie.
I know, but I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like all of those, I've tried. I like horror movies, and everyone I've ever tried to listen to, they're terrible. It's just like everybody doing a terrible fucking job. There's like, I just want to drink beers and talk about horror movies. Yeah, fuck it. You see that kill? And also, we've already answered this question, and I can't believe we forgot. Tyler, we already have an alternate podcast. We've got our Death Coaster 2000 podcast where we go to every theme park where someone has died and we talk and we rate the ride that someone died on.
Okay. We do like talking about how people are on various levels of the spectrum. I think roller coaster people, I mean, it's a very tactile, visceral experience that people like us tend to like. But the people who make these videos, I get recommended these videos all the time because I do like roller coasters and I do watch some theme park videos. But like they'll have like, like Falcon's Flight just opened in Saudi Arabia, and people have like a 38-minute video about what it's like to ride a 2-minute roller coaster. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, yeah, it throws you around. Like, you feel like you're falling. Like, it's like every other fucking roller coaster. And they're like, oh, this overbanked turn that I was on for 0.25 seconds of my life. Let me describe the experience to you. Like, who's watching this? What are we talking about? You can't have a roller coaster discussion that's this long. A 5-minute review of a roller coaster, fine. I guess that makes sense. A 38-minute review of a roller coaster?
No, that's why we have a podcast only about rides that people died on. We go. Each podcast is an episode of just one roller coaster. What we thought, the research, how the person died, we get into that. It becomes a history lesson and a review of the ride.
That's a genuinely good podcast idea, because people do like the death and dark stuff, and like it's kind of like a true crime kind of deal. And then it wouldn't just be like some guys looked at Wikipedia, because we would travel and ride them all ourselves. Yeah, that would be a good podcast.
There you go.
I don't think that the money that podcast would bring in would pay for the travel to go to all the places.
No, but if you pay us to stop collecting, Tyler, we can do this.
Oh, wow. Well, you brought it all back around. I love it.
All right. Put a bow on it. Now, Tyler, we're going into the next part. Unless you got another question, or we want to talk about what we bought and what we played.
I don't. Let's talk about what we bought and what we played, Johnny.
Okay, Tyler. What did you buy?
Well, Johnny, I was on eBay during this podcast, and I have not bought anything yet. But
you're thinking about something.
What was I looking at? I was like looking up Xbox variant. It was for some comment I made on the podcast, and the eBay similar items came up and showed me there is a physical release of DCS A10C Warthog. Are you familiar with this video game?
No. What are you talking about?
So this, I think the DCS series is now kind of an online live service thing called Digital Combat Simulator World. But DCS A10C Warthog is the first flight simulator game I remember playing where it feels like real life. And it's a military combat sim, which isn't my favorite, but you get in the cockpit of a Warthog, and you have to read a manual, and it takes you like 45 minutes to start it up. It's like fucking insane. And then you lift it off, and you don't know how to fly it, and you crash, and you have to do it again. And it's such a fun, it's the most immersive flight simulator I've ever played, because it is so detailed and ridiculous. And I know there have been a lot of games like that over the years. But A10C Warthog, I guess the difference is like the graphics are fucking incredible, in addition to like the overwhelming non-fun realism of it. And it's a relatively recent game. I think it's like 2010, so I'm surprised there's a physical copy of it. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I think the series started with Black Shark. It was a helicopter simulator, which is even more fun, because then you spend 20 minutes starting a helicopter, and fuck, if you don't know how to fly a helicopter, like, you absolutely immediately crash that shit. Yo, the best part about I know I'm getting excited about flight simulators here. In Black Shark, when you first start playing, it's a helicopter that has two counter-rotating sets of blades, and if you rise or descend too quickly, the blades hit each other and you explode.
Perfect.
Oh, God, flight simulators are so much fun. Oh, and this ties into what I actually bought. So, hold on. This is what, like, Tyler, what do you really care about flight simulators that much? Johnny, I have not been buying a lot. I bought a car. I've been buying a lot of, like, car parts and stuff for my car. I bought a manual for A2 FS1 Flight Simulator for the Apple II.
Oh.
My copy someone wrote their name on it, so it's not in great condition. And a decent copy of the third print manual came up. Someone doesn't have their name written on it for like $50. And I'm really excited about that. It's the first flight simulator. And I say third print because, let me go into the history of A2 FS1 prints. This is like very clearly, it's like a photocopied construction paper type deal. And the very first prints of this manual came on like blues and browns and maybe green construction paper. And I've never ever seen one for sale. It's probably like a deal where it was only sold locally for like these very early prints. And then the third print of the game comes with a yellow manual that has a wireframe plane on the front of it. And it is the earliest copy of A2 FS1 that you will ever actually find. And it's supposed to come with a cassette. I just bought the manual only because that's all I needed. But if you want the earliest flight simulator, you can look into that and we could talk about it.
You got the yellow though.
Got the yellow. I think this is like my third or fourth copy of this game. I love this game very much. I like flight simulators, Johnny. What can I say? Flying a plane is a cool thing. Have you ever been in the Air Force?
I have, yeah.
No,
I did not fly a plane.
more like the Chair Force. Got him.
Yeah, who got him? Yep.
That's it. That's all I got. I got a manual for an Apple II game, but I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm a little bit sad that I knew it was going to be the yellow manual.
It's the yellow one.
That hurts my feelings a little bit. Like in my brain, it's like, he got the yellow one, I bet. You got, like, why? Why, Johnny? Why did this stick in your brain? Tyler, I bought some really good stuff. Are you ready?
I'm ready here. Let's go.
Brace yourself. Are you bracing yourself? Okay. You didn't tell me if you're bracing yourself. I don't want to.
I'm holding on to my desk right now.
Okay. I'm afraid I'm going to knock your socks off, and I'm just worried about you. I didn't actually buy that much. I bought Dragon Quest VIII for the 3DS. I got a complete in box with the pre-order pouch.
All right, I've let go of my desk.
Okay, yeah. You can unbrace yourself for that. Yeah. That's what I bought. I also bought like a couple modern horror games, but that's nothing interesting. The 3DS game is the interesting one. Because I did not have Dragon Quest VIII. I was like, I kind of want Dragon Quest VIII. I mean, I have a copy elsewhere, but I'm like, I don't have the 3DS one. And I was looking at what games from the top of the 3DS set I'm still missing. And I was like, Dragon Quest VIII is a game I would like to own. And then I saw it with the little pouch, and it was not a bad price. I was like, all right, I'll put that in my cart and see if the guy sends me an offer. And he did, so I bought it.
I mean, once you have Barbie, it's just like, well, you have to complete the set now. You might, like, there's no turning back.
No, because there's still a lot of dumb stuff that's kind of expensive, and it's just like, do I really want to spend like $120 on like Savvy Art Studio or whatever, or Fashion Savvy or whatever the hell that game is?
You got it. Yeah, what are you talking about?
I did buy some stuff that's not here yet, so we'll get to talk about that next episode. It's just some dumbass variants of horror games, and you're just going to be like, okay, it's going to be great. That's what I bought. Did you play anything?
I'm just playing Yarg, Johnny. I'm playing the drums. It's basically just Rock Band on the PC for people I don't know. Since this whole entire year, I haven't really played like a narrative or game like anything like that. I didn't even play the Ninja Gaiden games this year. I usually do that every year on January 1st. I must have been doing something.
Let's see. Did I play anything? I didn't really play anything. I got stuff like lined up. I've got to set up my Switch 2 finally because I want to play Metroid, but I was like, I wasn't quite ready, so I didn't. Anyways, well, I'm looking forward to maybe playing some games. I didn't even play Diablo. Just other stuff going on.
Now, is Yarg going to be my new Diablo? It's such a worse game because no one knows what the hell Yarg is. I should just say Rock Band so people know what I'm talking about.
I look, I'm interested in Yarg. I'm like, I want that. I want to sing in my living room by myself with a better mic than Rock Band gave me and pretend like that's a thing I can do while no one's around.
It sure is. Man, so I was talking with someone and they're like, oh yeah, singing's easy. You can just put it on expert and get 5 stars every time. And I'm over here like struggling to get 3 stars on any song. I'm like, oh man, I must be really bad at singing. And I am bad at singing, but it's like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm not the singer that these people are. These people are like, oh, this is easy. I'm like, oh, easy for you and easy for me are not the same thing as what we're finding out. All right. That's it. That's the show. Tyler, we did it. We talked about set collecting, even though it's dead, and we talked about Yarg. Good episode.
That's it.
Welcome to the new year. Welcome to 2026, everyone. Hope to see you on the Discord. Thanks for listening. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out and spending the time with us as always. Bye!